Can I ask though, especially in light of how we're dealing with mental health in the pandemic, was therapy at all a part of your shift as well?
Definitely. My wife, thank God for my wife.
Thank God.
She made sure I implemented that in within my routine. Even when I did I forget, I've been on so few of them shows now, I forget it.
You did Black
The
Love.
boot camps
You
and
did Black
the
Love.
Bookie, yeah.
Okay.
Black Love was good for the mind and soul. But even Dr. Ish was a great add-in for my life because he helped me figure out a lot of things. And now what's crazy is I need to go to therapy more, but I pretty much use my wife as a therapist, which probably
well, I'm like, well, then who does she use as a therapist? Because then that means
probably ain't fair for her, but we
it ain't.
I think learning how to talk out, I think a lot of us have a problem with understanding that it's okay to not to understand that your mind needs a break. Like even if you think about today's just life in general today, like I was telling somebody this the other day, besides having trauma, for me just logging on to Instagram some days makes me know
Yes.
I need some kind of therapy because if you think about it, like I was sitting, there's no way that you would have a conversation with this many people
In
in
real life.
physical life,
Right. Yeah.
real life. Like I'm not hearing even over 150 people's thoughts a day and how they feel,
Yes.
they negative energy, their attitude. But when you log on, you're taking in so much, and the
Absorbing
world is
that.
moving so fast, and it's just so hard to even get a grasp of what's going on. So
And the back end of that of how you don't even know how if you've met people in real life or just seen them on the Instagram.
I don't know what's going on. So to take
Mhm.
in that many people's thoughts, feelings, energy, what's on their mind, we all need some sort of therapy. We all need some sort of relaxation. Your mind needs a lot. Like we all, as Black people, we have PTSD, period, just being Black. So on top of
Yes.
that, now think about how fast things are moving, how fast technology is advancing, and human beings aren't advancing as fast as technology is. And all of these things, like even me, for the normal things that probably won't make the average person need therapy, makes me need therapy. Like I'm thinking about how AI is coming. I'm thinking about like I log on. I went to see this movie the other day, Sound of Freedom, right?
Mhm.
Then after I left Sound of Freedom, and I'm thinking, damn, all of this is happening to the kids, and people are losing their jobs to AI. Then you get on Instagram and you got to hear everybody's personal thought, uh, not on anything that's almost relevant. And it made me go, I need a break from the world some days. Like, I don't care about how she's dressed, he's dressed, who said what rapper did this, who doing what. I just want to live in a healthier world and contribute to that. But it doesn't kind of always pan out that way. So that alone could kind of break you down mentally. Like if you're not
Right.
surrounding yourself around people who think like you, who move how you move, you're gonna need some kind of therapy. And like I've lost a daughter to suicide.
Yeah.
Um, Me myself, I suffered from rage before without knowing what was happening. Like you hear people suffering from depression, feeling this way, but nobody speaks of the kid who suffers from rage. So
Right.
knowing all of the things that we deal with in our community, like we the mind, body, and soul. I believe all three needs to be worked on constantly because you need to have them lined up to have the best you in place. So it's not just the body, it's not just being healthy. It's like I live a healthy lifestyle more so from the health aspect of the physical health to spiritually and mentally be healthier, to not fall victim to the things that I usually will fall victim to because I don't feel good. Like think about it. Like how many people you could get on Instagram and go, I love red. Somebody's gonna come on and go, fuck red. I hate red. Blue's my color. This and
Mhm.
that. Like that's a lot to deal with. And like, there's people who will just come on your page saying negative shit. That's because they don't feel good about themselves. Like so a person who doesn't feel good about themselves, they're bound to push their negativity on you.
Right.
And if you're not in a mentally healthy enough space to understand that, that could ruin your day and bring you down.
Which
Like,
most aren't.
like you
Which
know
most
what I
aren't.
mean? Now you're caring about what strangers are saying about cyber strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are saying about you. Like that's a we're in a very different time, like in this day and age. Like we're in a time you can't even disagree with somebody. Like you know what I mean? It's like, okay, you know, if you're not a Democrat, the Republicans are mad at you. You're not a Republican, the Democrats are mad at you. If you're not either one, then everybody's mad at you. You could say something and people, instead of having a conversation or understand why you're coming from that point of view, they'll rather just drag you and call you names instead of even understanding. Let me have a conversation to see your point of view and why you feel that way. And I believe that's why a healthy lifestyle is very important, because it's not just about physically being healthy, it's about mentally being healthy. And then spiritual health means a lot too, which we don't really speak about on a day-to-day basis. But your spiritual health means a lot, because you don't want just people coming in and putting their energy on you, or
Right.
Ooh, I think he's a meditator. I think we found another meditator.
Yeah.
Have we found
I was
another
gonna-
meditator?
for sure.
You know what?
How do you take care of your spiritual health? Is it prayer? Is it meditation? Like, what are your tools?
Prayer, meditation, and surrounding myself around people I feel are spiritually grown or that can help me spiritually grow. I also like the ground. I like to take my sneakers off, my socks off, step on the dirt for a minute, get in contact with the earth. I like to stargaze. I like hikes in the nature. I yell, I scream, I cry, I laugh, I throw
Oh my
boulders.
God. Styles P.
I do what I gotta do
Now,
to make myself feel better.
you said something. Now, this is weird. You talked about rage, right?
Yeah.
And man, I felt I got so envious, because here's the thing. It took me, all right, so I'm certain that this episode will be on in the month of August. So, we're recording this in July right now. And around late May. So late around April or May, I realized something. Usually the most stressful time in my life is between February and June, simply because of, again, the weight of throwing that festival in Philadelphia. You're going through everything. You're going through every artist. You're trying to cater to everyone's needs, and so there's a lot of stress there. And I realized around May how I've been doing this wrong the entire time. And I'm certain that almost 95% of humanity does the same thing that I do, which is I've only been chasing one emotion only, and that's happiness. I've been chasing happiness, which in the scheme of things, you think, well, what's wrong with chasing happiness? But then I realized that someone had revealed to me maybe a year ago, and I didn't listen to him good, that it's like, yo, Amir, there are over 48 other emotions besides happiness. And they named the whole spectrum. And they showed me a graphic chart. There's some dark shit like jealousy, anger, sadness. There's some light shit like laughter, like happiness. And so there's a whole spectrum of emotions. And I only knew happy. You know what I'm saying? And so what I realized was that, I thought whatever whatever my personality is to certain people, like, oh, Amir never gets angry and da 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 da. I realized that I'm absolutely not in touch with any other emotion besides happy, and that's why, like, most of us self-soothe. That's why, like, I always went to bad foods. That's why another cat will go to cocaine. That's why another cat will drink to death or whatever. And so a friend of mine had gave me a link about a retreat that I should go to for people who've never, ever expressed rage ever. Because I told them that, oh, I never get angry. And when they said this to me, they said, you not getting angry, Amir? Yeah. So when's the last time you expressed your anger out loud? And I was like, oh, I said, probably maybe 20 years ago when I was angry that someone put the wrong mix on my album and now it's stuck on my record. I got angry. And they're like, you're telling me the last time you expressed anger was 20 years ago because of a mastering session glitch? And I was like, yeah, I don't get angry much. And they were like, that you just said the equivalent.
You just don't express anger.
Right.
Yeah, I'm about
Well,
to-
one, you take it out on yourself.
Mhm.
He's like, at least you express anger, but you was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat these feelings away instead of expressing the anger.
You internalize it.
Right. And at that, not expressing anger is almost like you saying, you know what? I haven't urinated in 2 decades.
Yeah, facts.
And so I went to this retreat, and it's a 3-day retreat that I went to in June. And man, I realized, with the exception of an occasional roller coaster, and even then, when I think of my roller coaster experiences, my level of screaming is more like a Muppet, like that sort of thing. Maybe like my inner Muppet scream is like that sort of thing. That's not like real rage. That's just like, what's good, that sort of thing. This thing that I did, they literally teach you how to scream. Like, we had to spend 24 hours learning our baritone voice, our alto, like our chakra, like from our voice, from our throat to our stomachs. So cut to us actually doing the rage exercise, and I didn't realize how much anger and rage I've had in me for 5, like, just bottled up. Again, it's literally like not defecating for 50 years or taking. And I didn't realize that, like, oh, the key to life is not chasing happiness. It's in the most healthiest way to express all emotions.
Definitely.
And I didn't so when you were like, yo, like, I was a rageaholic, I was thinking here, like, damn, man, no, I don't want to be toxic to other people, but I wish I would have known what that feeling felt like to express anger, which I've, never done outwardly. So I don't know. I just felt, but I felt you on that, man. That's amazing, man. I'm thank you. I guess I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about, like, your craft and your art, right? Like,
Right.
music
Not-
memories and stuff.
Not really, because the craft. I think in the music business, that's what we do a lot, and we don't. These kind of conversations aren't held enough because
Mhm.
people don't feel comfortable with talking about where they're at in life. Like,
vulnerability. People don't want to feel vulnerable.
you don't want to feel vulnerable. So, like,
We weren't
Music-
always allowed to feel vulnerable, y'all, too.
Yeah,
We have to
music-
acknowledge that.
like it took me for years to realize, like, I was the hardest MC out of rage, out of just really wanting to hurt something. Like, I had to realize later on, I was like, wow, I knew myself the whole time subconsciously, because I always told people I was a gangster and a gentleman.
Gentlemen, yeah.
Like, I'm the rapper who you can hear make some real gangster shit. Then I'm the rapper who also got a song with Fonte right now.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? So I live this and that. So I've always walked a fine line of balancing. So throughout my music career, I've been fortunate enough to say that I've been able to work with the greats and be able to be myself genuinely on both sides. As I got older, it really took me to. As I got older, like, somebody, I didn't think I really realized it one day until I had an interview, and somebody was like, "You may be one of the only few artists who are walking that fine line who gets accepted in both worlds," and that made me have appreciation of my craft and saying, "Wow, that is a pretty dope thing to be." But I also subconsciously realized I introduced myself as that in the beginning. I told people I'm literally half and half. So I guess to say what I'm saying is our careers sort of reflect our life and who we are. Like you've held in that rage quest, but you've always been the guy that people go, I'm gonna go fuck with him. We love these guys. We love what they do. Like my early career, I almost ruined my fucking career out of almost ruined my own career with not being in tune with being too in tune with some of my feelings and then not being in tune with some other feelings.
Right.
So I think our careers are a reflection of who we are, and we just have to learn other ways to be. Like it took me to learn. It got to a point where I said I don't really want to feel like walking around with two guns all the time and embracing a certain energy. So I left the guns home and left the security, but I brought a good energy with me, saying God's gonna be my security, and if it's my day to go, it's my day to go. That was written. But I also could walk somewhere in a light, and even with my history of the music I made and the music I'm doing, and just being in a place of going, the people got to accept me for who I am, and I let the chips fall where they may. So I've been blessed to have a great music career, I would like to say. I've been able to be around the greats and work with a lot of the greats and be on a lot of songs. I feel like when it's all said and done, I've been a very hardworking MC, and I appreciate it. But my journey now, more so than my music career, is to also make sure that people in music are also understanding to connect your career with your personal life and your health. Because without your health, you're not going to really enjoy your career.